All right, guys, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, all depending on when and where you're logging in from. And welcome to this EtherChain presentation. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Andreas Kartud, coming to you from Malmö, Sweden, and I am the creator of this smart contract, and I'm here to explain to you exactly what this is all about. Let me just share the screen, and we will start off right away. So we're going to talk about EtherChain, and we want to learn a little bit more about what this really is, what is the vision about it, what can this do for us, and not just us, for everybody else as well. We're actually looking at the world's first decentralized community support fund. It's a financial support system which is built on smart contract technology by the community for the community. It's by far the most transparent peer-to-peer financial support system in the world. So we're going to have a little bit more look at this, and we're going to start off with what a smart contract is, because we want to get a basic understanding of this. Now, a smart contract, to explain it easily, is a self-executing contract which is deployed on the public blockchain. It can actually store and execute transactions of value. Now, being on a decentralized blockchain means also that the smart contract itself is also decentralized. It has the characteristics of being non-corruptible, tamper-proof, fair, just, open, and fully transparent. Now, it acts strictly according to the pre-written rules of the contract. That means nothing less, nothing more, and it's fully transparent and decentralized, meaning that there's no central point of control to the contract. There are no limits to what a smart contract algorithm can do or how it can be coded. The contract is simply there to perform the action it has been programmed to do without the need of a third party or a human intervention. That is the easiest way to break down how a smart contract works. It's a pre-written program that executes the code, the orders that you have or the person that wrote the code has set it to do. And it does so when certain requirements are met. Now, what is the EtherChain? The EtherChain smart contract is designed to provide everyone with an independent financial support fund based on blockchain and smart contract technology. Now, any participant can contribute Ethereum towards the community fund and support the EtherChain community members. And by doing so, the participant activates the contract code and will start to receive support back from other community members. Now, EtherChain is 100% decentralized and a community-based project. That means there are no guarantee nor additional profits made in this system. All that you receive from EtherChain is based upon your own and the community efforts, as this is a peer-to-peer support model where you support others and others support you. EtherChain can actually be viewed as a decentralized third party, which ensures fairness, transparency, and justice for all according to the algorithm code. There are no mediators or intermediaries, no owners, no company, and no human interaction, which is effectively guaranteeing the fairness of all participating partners and partners' funds according to the rules of the smart contract. It is by far the most reasonable, safest, and best cutting-edge financial support model available at this time. Now, how does it work? Well, it's very simple. You can participate in EtherChain by depositing a minimum of 0.1 Ethereum to the fund. You're now eligible to receive back from the community 310% from the fund. That means if you put 1 in, you can receive 3.1 back. The 310% is returned in 4 different ways. You will have 1 which is completely passive. Every single member is part of this. And you have 3 which is optional by marketing. When the 310% is accumulated through any of the 4 ways, a new deposit must be made equal or greater to continue receiving from the fund. Now, the 4 ways is as following. You will have a 1% daily return on your deposit. It goes for a maximum of 310 days. It is 100% passive. Every single community member in EtherChain is receiving this. You also have a 10% direct referral commission for sharing and growing the community fund. You have a matching commission on partners' daily return and a daily top referral pool, which goes by 5% of all deposits coming into EtherChain. Let's have a look at them in detail. Now, the daily 1% goes very, very straightforward. It is 1% of the deposit amount, and it's paid daily to all users by the system algorithm, up to the point when the maximum deposit limit is reached, i.e. 3.1 times. So suppose that you support the fund with 5 Ethereum, you can now receive 15.5 back. On a daily basis, you'll receive 0.05 until 310 days, or until the maximum limit is achieved by any of the other 3 ways, whichever is reached first. Now, the direct commission is awarded to a sponsor when the direct partner makes a deposit. It goes for the first deposit and any redeposits that might happen. It is 10% of the deposit amount. So let's say your direct partner deposits 10 Ethereum. You'll receive 1 Ethereum as your commission, and there are no limits to how many direct partners you can have. All commissions apply towards the 3.1 time. That means we have a uni level. You can have unlimited partners. You can invite as many people as you want to EtherChain, and for each and every single person that you bring in, you'll receive a 10% commission on their deposit. 3 Ethereum in, you receive 0.3. 0.6 deposit, you receive 0.06. 1 Ethereum deposit, you receive 0.1, and so on. Now over to the hidden gem in this marketing plan, and that is the matching commission, guys. As we know, we're getting a 10% commission on all direct partners immediately when they join, when they make a deposit. But that's not all. You'll get a matching commission every single time one of your partners on the qualified levels makes a withdrawal. That means every single time someone makes a withdrawal, you get paid. Now, the matching commission is based upon your partner's 1% daily return. It is awarded every single time when a partner, downline partner, makes a withdrawal. And the levels of matching is based upon how many directs you personally have sponsored. You will have 1 level added for each direct referral. As we can see, the maximum number of levels is 15 levels. So if you have 15 or more directs, you are maxing out the entire compensation plan with 15 levels of matching. And by doing so, you will have 30% match on all of your directs. You'll have 10% match on all your partners on level 2, 3, 4, and 5. You will have 8% on all partners on level 6 to 10 and 5% on all partners on level 11 to 15. This is an amazing, amazing way to create yourself a passive residual income based on a smart contract. Now, the last one is daily top sponsor pool. This is 5% of all Ethereum deposit is added to this daily top sponsor pool. 10% of this pool is awarded to the top 4 sponsors of Ethereum volume every single day. And the remaining 90% is rolled over to the next day's pool for continuous growth. The allocation of the 10% is as following. We'll have 40%, 30, 10, 20, and 10. And right now, guys, this pool is hovering around 200 Ethereum. That means every single day, a minimum of 20 Ethereum is being paid out to the top 4 sponsors, shared 40, 30, 20, 10. This is huge. That means anyone can come in, even at a 0.1. If they go to work, if they bring in the most volume of Ethereum, they will win that prize. This is an amazing reward that goes out on a daily basis. Now, the deposit functions, we have a minimum and a maximum deposit limit to increase the sustainability of this project for a long time. Now, the first deposit is a minimum of 0.1 up to 10 Ethereum. The second deposit needs to be equal or greater than the previous up to 30 Ethereum. The third deposit needs to be equal or greater than the previous up to 90. And the fourth and any after needs to be equal or greater than the previous up to 200. So 200 would be the maximum. And basically what this means is that you can never deposit less than what you've done. If you'd made a deposit of 0.5, that is the minimum limit of entry on the next deposit. If you deposited 10, 10 is the minimum entry on the next deposit. Now, looking at the full algorithm distribution of all funds, now out of the 100% that goes into EtherChain, there is a 1% that goes away for platform fee, 5% goes away to the daily pool, 10% is being paid instantly as a direct referral commission, while 84%, guys, is stored and distributed by the contract. It goes by the daily 1%, including all matching bonuses. What does this basically mean? It means that every single thing or whatever you bring in towards this community fund, 84% goes to the community pool and is being shared to every single community member. But that also means that 84% of whatever every single person in this community does goes towards you. Everybody is building together. We are supporting each and every single member together, my friends. This is what I would call a true team build. Now, finishing off with a couple important notes. EtherChain is a community-based project. It is 100% decentralized, and it's peer-to-peer transactions through a smart contract. Now let's clear this up. What does this really mean? Now, as a community-based project, it means, as we said earlier, there are no guarantees nor additional profits made. This is strictly based on the community itself. It is me giving to you and you giving to me and us all giving to each other. Anything that you receive from EtherChain is based on the community itself and what we give to each other. That is what a community-based project is. And it is 100% decentralized, meaning that there's no one that controls this fund. No one does except the smart contract. Now, there's peer-to-peer transactions through the smart contract. What do we mean by that? A lot of people have the misinterpretation that peer-to-peer transactions is something that goes instantly from wallet to wallet. That is not the true definition. The definition of peer-to-peer is conducting a transaction of value between two parties without the need of a third. That is a peer-to-peer or a person-to-person transaction. And that is exactly what we're doing here through the smart contract. Now, each deposit cycle in EtherChain is 310%. And when the 310% is received, a new deposit must be made to continue earning or receiving from any of the four ways. So what does this mean and why do we have this? First and foremost, the 310 limit is in order to create sustainability, in order to limit people from just coming in and receiving, just draining the fund. If let me say it like this is the most fair, equal, and just fund in the world because everyone receives the exact same. Everyone receives 1% and everyone receives 310%. The speed of those returns are, of course, up to you. Now, when the 310% is received, a new deposit must be made. That means no matter how much you brought into the fund, once you receive the 310 limit, it stops. You're not receiving any more unless you make a new deposit. If you make a new contribution to the fund, you're activating a new limit of 310 because you supported the fund once more. And that activates all the earnings from the current structure that you have already built. Now, the minimum entry is 0.1 Ethereum. That means we are open to all participants globally. We do not limit anyone. 0.1 Ethereum is about $22, $23 at this point, and anyone can come here and help to change their lives. If they want to do this as a passive participant or a fully active one or a part-time active one, everyone is welcome here. There are no restrictions. And the most unique about this is that there's no referrals required in order to receive. Now, where have you been a part of that before? Absolutely no referrals required to receive. Everyone receives the 1%. It pays out daily to all members, 100% passive. There is not one single community member in EtherChain that has not received anything. And that is something that is unique. That is something that is creating a very positive, a very uplifting, spirit for everybody. The community that we see in EtherChain is by far the most amazing one I've seen in my entire life of network marketing career. Never have I seen so much positivity. Never have I seen so much support given. So many strangers reaching out and supporting each other. And why? Because that is the culture we are creating with this support fund, with the daily pay. That is something that gets everybody excited, everybody feels supported, and that is why this community will live and thrive for many, many, many years. Now, of course, as we said, you can increase the speed of your returns by growing the community fund through marketing and sharing of EtherChain. Again, this is the most fair, just, and equal fund you can find. Everyone receives 1%. Everyone receives 310%. And everyone receives rewards based on their efforts to help grow the community above and beyond the 1%. The more you do to help this community grow, the more you will receive. The more you do today, guys, the more you will benefit tomorrow. That is how simple it is. With that, guys, we want to finish off that this is a decentralized financial support system. It's all about transparency. It's all about fairness. It's all about being automated. Now, with that, we're going to drop off the presentation here, And we are actually going to have a look at the back office itself. We're just going to go have a quick walkthrough of that. Let me see. Now, as we can see, I'm already at the site. Let me refresh it. Once you go to EtherChain, when you do so, you need to use either a browser on your PC, which is connected with MetaMask, or you need to use a trust wallet, token pocket, sorry about that, a Web3 wallet that you can have on your phone, which can connect with the DApp, or where you can go through a DApp browser and you can connect to a smart contract, so to say. Now, once you do that, and once you get into the site, you will have a full overview of the entire site. We're going to go through that right now. For those of you who need support and need help with this, please reach out to the person who introduced you to EtherChain, of course, or you can also seek help in the community group on Telegram. Now, going through the details on the page, we can see on top, when you are connected, you will see your Ethereum wallet at the top left. You will have a system language, which you can choose from. And you can see we have a few to choose from as well. We will be adding several more, but it means that we are available to every single person all over the world. At the beginning, we see a timer up here, and we also see an amount of Ethereum. So this is the daily pool. This is the daily pool timer. That means in 2 hours and 2 minutes, 10% of this amount will go out, will be shared among the top 4 sponsors in the entire community. Doesn't matter if you've been here for 4 weeks or if you joined today. If you brought most Ethereum to this community today, you're going to win this pool. And we can actually view the top 4 sponsors on this page. We can see exactly how much they brought in. We can see how much they're winning. So we see here they accumulated number 1 here, 60 Ethereum. The second place, 20. Third, 11.1. And the fourth place, 10.7. So guys, if you want to win any of these prizes of 7.8 Ethereum, 5.9, 3.9, or 1.9, this is where you go. This is what you're aiming for. I mean, it is amazing to see people being rewarded on a daily basis. It makes everyone happy. Now, going back to the main page, we also have a guide and a how to join. So the guide will actually show you how EtherChain is working. The how to join will show you how to download one of these wallets that I showed you about, or as well MetaMask. Now, further down, you can see we have an amount of Ethereum buttons. Now, these are clickable, and you can select several times. You can click on them, and you see will add up in the main one. So if you want to invest 0.9, you click 4 times on 0.1 and 1 time on 0.5. Now, if you click too much, you just click on reset. Once you selected the amount that you wish to join with, you click on join. It will connect with your wallet as a MetaMask wallet. It will connect. As we can see now, we can see that there is a transaction error exception thrown in the contract code, and that is because you cannot make a new deposit until you have received the full 310 limit. So we will reject that. But when you join, you click join, and then you confirm it. A couple of seconds later, that transaction has gone through, and your now interface is being activated. Now, the first thing we can see is the smart contract information. As we can see, guys, in 4 weeks, today is 28 days, exactly 4 weeks since we launched, and we have 7,912 Ethereum in the main community fund. Now, we can click on the contract address, and we can view this on EtherScan, and we can see that that is $1.887 million. That is an amazing achievement by each and every one of you guys. This community is growing further and beyond any expectations, that's for sure. Now, anybody can view that. We are looking at an amount withdrawn by members, 2,567 Ethereum in 4 weeks. Now, adding these two numbers together, we will get the total number of Ethereum deposited by the community, which goes up towards, I want to see, 10,500 Ethereum in 4 weeks has gone in. 7,900 remains, 2,567 paid out. 197 Ethereum in the daily pool. That means 19.7 goes out on a daily basis. We can here also see the maximum volume of the top refer being 60 Ethereum. So you know what to go for if you want to beat that. Now you also see referred by. This is your sponsor address. So once you have clicked to join, and your account goes active, that your sponsor's address will pop up right there. Now, further down, we can see the personal statistics. We have the next income countdown. We have a 310 income limit and how much is remaining. So when you make a deposit, that will multiply with 3.1, and that is your income limit showing right here. When you make a withdrawal, that income limit will decrease, and once that reaches 0, that is when you can actually make a new deposit. Now you have the daily income 1%, you have direct referral income, you have matching bonus, you have top sponsor rewards. You also have income withdrawn to wallet and unwithdrawn income. So as we can see, the 1%, the direct, the matching, the top sponsor, all accumulates under the unwithdrawn income. Now, when you click on the withdrawal button, this withdrawal button is an execution that will trigger a code in the contract and now remove the funds that you have in the unwithdrawn income balance to your wallet. As we can see right now, the fee is about 0.009. It is a little bit higher, 2.15. So right now there's a lot of traffic going on. We will do that a little bit later. So we'll reject it right now. Once you make the withdrawal, it takes a couple of seconds and it is in your wallet. The only reason why we have a withdrawal button is because we needed to limit people to withdraw what they can. So on the stages from point 1 to point 5, people have the opportunity. If we didn't limit them, they would have had the opportunity to withdraw up to 3 to 4 times the amount that they actually were supposed to receive. And that would have not been sustainable for this project in the long run. So we have made sure that we have, clogged all the gaps, made sure that there are no loopholes, and we can see that by the growth of this community and how this is expanding. Now we also have statistics, total amount of received, total amount of deposited. So you can see here, 70 Ethereum is what I have deposited to the fund so far, 124 I have received. You have your personal invitation link, you have personally invited partners, personal number of partners. That means the total number of partners is counting 15 levels down. Because we can receive up to 15 levels, the total number of partners will count 15 levels down and the partners on that. And the total community participants is counting the entire community, so to say. It doesn't limit itself to 15, it goes infinity levels down. So we can see it right now, 8,994 members. Sorry about that. Let's just make a quick update on the contract. Yeah, 8,994 community members. And that is it. This is one of the simplest but easiest and best interfaces that I have worked with, because it doesn't need to be difficult. It's not supposed to be difficult. It's supposed to be clear, crisp, and very consistent for everybody. Easy to go in, easy to have an overview, easy to share, because that is what it's all about. To share, help, and support others to truly build themselves through financial freedom. That is what we can do, my friends, and that is what we are doing right now. And I cannot wait for, well, the main news would be 2 days from now, as we all know. And I believe everybody here is fully aware of that. We are looking forward to the 9th, the verification of this contract. So I am super happy. I'm super excited as well. I wanted to, in all honesty, I was actually going to surprise everybody and do the verification today. But it came up to me that, you know what, let's do an independent third-party audit on this contract before we verify it, just to make sure from an outside source as well that everything is spot on. For me, security and safety is the most important thing, and I believe that is for you as well. So I want to make sure, and I want to take those precautions, even though I trust and I fully trust my developers. They are actually the ones that suggested it. Since we are verifying, since we are removing any function to be able to fix it if anything goes wrong, not that we do think that it will, but that we are removing this function, maybe we should have a third party to do it, to just make sure to cross off all the cross off all the I's and dots and all this. And that is what we're doing right now. We have a third party company and developers that are looking into the code, making sure that everything is spot on, that there are no backdoors, that there are no loopholes where people can exploit on a later stage or anything like that. Because you know what? We are building something for life. This is, I'm not sure about you guys, but this is my life mission. And I am doing everything I can do to assure and guarantee us that this is something that will sustain us for years. And not just us, the millions and millions of participants that will enter this community. Because that is what we will be doing. We will support millions of people around this world, and we're doing it on our own. We don't need a third party to help us. We got ourselves. So guys, I'm super excited about that. In 2 days, we are verifying this contract. We are about 48 hours because it will be verified about evening time on Thursday. We are going to complete the audit. This will be done on Thursday, about Thursday noon, afternoon, around there. All of these documents that are being now provided by the third-party audit will be provided to you guys as well. It will be up on the website so you guys can take part of this audit and see how this code is coded, or how this system is coded. Now, anybody who wants to conduct their own independent third-party audit of the code is more than welcome to do so. And when you do, please share the results so that we have even more documents to put up on the website to prove and show to everybody. Because guys, this is what everybody wants to see. I believe this is what everybody's been waiting for. First, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for the tremendous, tremendous support and commitment that you guys have shown towards EtherChain, even as an unverified contract. That shows the amount of trust that you have for the system, for me, for your community leaders. And that is, you know, it's really giving hope. It actually shows that there are good left in this world. And you know what? There is a model that I like to say, and that is, be the reason why people still believe in good people. Let that sink in. And that is one of my life's motto. So again, thank you guys for everything, for the tremendous support, for everything that you guys are doing for this project. I mean, you are about to be heavily, heavily rewarded. Keep in mind, guys, that when people are looking at EtherChain in the next 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, and they're looking for leaders, they're looking for somebody to show them the way, to show them how they can take part of this community, they're going to be looking at you guys. They're going to be looking at you, and they're going to be asking you, how did you do it? How did you manage to do something like this, to build this community? And that's where you're going to step in and show them. That's what we're here for. It's not about us anymore. It's not about just you. It is about us, but it's about all of us. We are all doing this together. That is why 84% of what all of you do goes to each and every single community member of EtherChain. 84% remains in the contract and being distributed to every single member in this community. What I do benefit you. What you do benefit me. What we all do benefit each other. I'm not going to talk too much more. We are going to take a couple of questions, guys. I'm going to check the chat. If you have anything, something that you would like to ask about, type it in the chat box right now. I'll read it up and we'll get some answers on them. And if there's not too much, we're going to drop off. Thank you, everybody, for the kind words and all the support again. You guys are tremendous. I love you all. We are going to make a change together. That's for sure. That is for sure. All right, let's see here if we got some questions. July 9th is coming up. That is for sure. You know, I believe I'm, you know, more excited than any of you. You know, this has been, the verification is like the final step. And the road to the verification, I thought it was going to be, you know, quicker, that it was just going to be like a couple of days, a maximum a week, but it was a rough, it wasn't a rough 4 weeks. It was a long 4 weeks. It was the longest 4 weeks in my life. But it's finally coming to an end, and I am just as excited as you guys, and I'm really looking forward to it. All right, so, sir, if I join with 0.1 Ethereum, I will then be eligible to get 0.31 in 310 days. If I get 200 days, the return of 2 Ethereum, let me see, let me just read that. And I get a referral of Ethereum. All right, okay, so the question is about the limit, as I've understood it. If you go in with 0.1, that means you can receive 0.31. If you bring in somebody, or somebody comes in and they deposit 10 Ethereum as your direct, that means you will earn 1 Ethereum instantly. But you were only eligible to receive 0.31. So what does the system do? Well, you will receive the full 1 Ethereum. But when you withdraw, the system will limit you to only withdraw the 0.31 that you're entitled to receive. Now, in order to receive the remaining 0.69 that is left in your account, you will need to make a new deposit to support the fund again, activating a new limit. Now you can withdraw the remaining and continue receiving the 1% on your higher deposit if you now made a higher one, and continue earning on the person that you brought in the 30% match on the daily income that they withdraw. I hope that was a clear answer to your question. Let's see. All right, is this social service purely? How are you getting benefited from your initiative? Rao, would you mind asking that again? Are you asking if it is purely a community-based effort, meaning that the Ethereum coming in is based upon what I deposit, what you deposit, what everybody deposits? That is a yes. That is a confirmed yes. Okay, cool, yeah. Any Ethereum that is in the fund, that is in the contract, has been deposited by members. And any Ethereum that is being paid out by the fund is being put there by members. So what I do, or the idea and the concept behind this, is that I give to the fund, I give to the contract. The contract is the controller of the fund that distributes 1% to every single member, every single participant, based on their deposit. And it also distributes the matching bonus when your downline partner makes a deposit. So the contract is kind of like a third party, as we would like to say, and it acts as a support fund. It is built by us. So I give to this, and what I give, everybody receives from. They receive that 1% a day, which is based upon their deposit. But what they give, everybody else receives from as well. Everybody gives to the fund, and the fund slowly distributes everything to everyone. And as long as we continue to grow this fund, and it's not just by new members. Keep in mind, guys, the 310 limit makes the old member become a new one. So we're not just based on the growth of the community itself, we are based on the deposits coming from both new members and old members. And that is what will make this sustainable for a long, long, long run. Because with the daily income and with the matching, we have people completing the 310 limit far beyond the time of when this fund would not be sustainable anymore if everything stops. And I can tell you that this is by far from stopping. We have only just begun. 4 weeks, we got 9,000 community members, and that is real organic community members that are here because they saw the vision, because they saw and embraced the concept that we had. Yes, Mr. Rao, I will unmute you. I see you got your hand up. Let us have a chat quickly. Are you there, my friend?
Hi, Andreas. Good evening. Thank you very much for your presentation. It's highly motivating. I'm from India. Yeah, my question is,
yes?
Suppose, because I'm new to this, and so let me talk in terms of dollars, not Ethereum, because I just get confused. So I just, contribute $1,000 initially, and if I don't withdraw for 3 months, say for example, so again, my earnings, the correct language, my earnings, it will be on the accumulated amount?
Yes. So if let's say that you bring in a partner and that partner does not withdraw for 90 days or 3 months, as you said, that's 90 days. That means you will get the matching commission on 90% because that is what he withdraws, the accumulated amount of the daily income.
Oh, thank you very much, Andreas, for your answer. Thank you.
My pleasure, my friend. My pleasure. Yes, that was a very good question because that is something a lot of people have been wondering. Am I just, if they don't, if let's say they withdraw every 10 days, am I still, am I just receiving the matching commission on 1% or the accumulated amount? And of course, it is the accumulated amount. So if your partner withdraws every 10 days, that means you will receive the matching on 10% because it's 10 days times 1%. If it's every 30 days, every 300 days, you're getting a heck of a matching bonus. But as we can see on, on an average basis, we can see that most of the people are withdrawing once a week, once 10 days. We have members that are withdrawing every single day or several times a day because they're building. And every time someone makes a withdrawal, it triggers matching upwards, and that triggers a new withdrawal. So all of this, when people are coming in and bringing in a team, it might take 3, 5, 10 days before they start seeing matching. But when that starts coming and the team is growing, the matching just doesn't stop. And it's a lot of fun, waking up or going to bed and checking that and seeing that now I know that my team just earned because they made a withdrawal because I got paid as well. It all just builds up that positive momentum that we want to create. All right, let me see here. You got one more question? Let me unmute you again. Awesome. If anybody has any other question and wants to come on and talk here, raise your hand and I will unmute you as well. Mr. Rao, I have unmuted you. There we go.
Oh, okay. Just to understand in a bit, the next layer. So the money is not pumped, from anywhere else, but it is distributed within the community. So, it will the system will take care. I mean, whatever the funds collected, that will be sufficient to distribute this money as per the plan, as per the business rules framed in the platform.
Yes, so of course the system is built on new deposits. So my deposit alone is not, if I deposit 1 Ethereum, that's not enough to pay me back or give me back 3.1 because that 1 Ethereum is still just 1 Ethereum. Now, if you act as a passive participant, not contributing to building, you will still receive the 1%. Why? Because you are helping to sustain those that are building it and marketing this with a matching override for up to 310%. Now, the marketers, the reason why we have such a very lucrative but justified marketing plan is because in reality, guys, we have to face it. It is the marketers and it is the builders that are sustaining the community. And if we do not reward the marketers enough to stay, to build, to thrive in this community and help others to do the same, it will not be sustainable. And that is why I said it's a very justified, because let's say I had a question earlier today, if what happens if somebody deposits 2 Ethereum and they manage to withdraw 620 Ethereum in 1 day, in 24 hours, wouldn't that drain the fund? And that's a good question. And my reply to this is no, it would actually strengthen the fund. Because if somebody is withdrawing 620 Ethereum in 24 hours, it means that they brought more than 6,200 Ethereum to the fund. In order for somebody to cycle and receive 310% in 1 day, they need to bring 31 times the amount that they deposited into the fund through the 10% direct commission. 31 times what they are depositing. It is quite possible. It's fully possible. There's so many doing it. Come in with 0.1, bring in somebody that comes in with 10, you earn 1. You're withdrawing 31 times your deposit right away the same day. It's hard to do if you deposit 10 Ethereum, because then you need to bring in 310 Ethereum to make 31, which completes the cycle, of course. But you understand what I mean. people have the opportunity to come in here and help this fund grow by building it. And by doing so, they're supporting themselves by building a passive residual income, and they're supporting so many others by helping to grow the community itself. So yes, it's all about community efforts. Now, I have mentioned that we are looking at ways, other ways of generating residual income or generating additional profits that will be added to the fund. This is not anything that is, anything that is done, ready, that is coming very soon or anything like that. This is something that we are looking at to increase the sustainability of the fund, not to make it sustainable, because it already is highly sustainable with the marketing plan and the compensation that we have and the community that we have. But my ultimate goal is to be able to generate several, or at least one additional income stream to the fund itself. So it will be semi-self-sustaining, that is not just based on the participation of members, on deposits, but that we have an generating income stream that is just pushing new funds into the main fund at all times. Now, it does not say that it will be 100% self-sustaining, but it absolutely will give people the confidence that it's not just based on people. And as I said, just based on us, the community, we are highly, highly sustainable. But adding an additional income stream to the fund is not something that will generate anything for the members. It will generate it for the fund, and that will go back out to the members. That will be powerful. So we have a few ideas. Oh, sorry. Yes?
I'm sorry. I interrupted you. Yeah, please go ahead.
No. I was done actually.
Thank you, Andreas. My final question, where is this platform, the server, located? Which country, by any chance?
I believe they are in Russia right now. I believe they are. The thing is, we are looking to add the website. We're not looking to, we are right now, we're creating the site for the IPFS, the Interplanetary File System, which is a decentralized hosting of the web content. So with that, we will be hosting the website on several different nodes around the world, having a decentralized hosting to the website.
Oh, so Mr. Andreas, if you don't mind, you are from Russia?
No, I'm from Sweden. It's just a server hosting.
Oh, server hosting is in Russia.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm through with my questions, Andreas. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. All right. So let's see what else we have here in the chat box. Now, let me see here. I'm just going to scroll up and see. If all people join with 0.5 and quit after receiving the 3.1 times, then there will not be any funds and less people join and more people left. Okay, so I believe it is a scenario there, Dr. Sharma. So if everybody deposits 0.5, now imagine this. Now imagine that we have a whole structure here with a lot of people. You have a lot of people in your team. You deposited 0.5. Your 10 directs deposited 0.5, their 5 directs deposited 0.5, everybody deposited 0.5. You are going to complete your 3.1 times a heck of a lot quicker than everybody else in your structure below you, because first and foremost, you receive the 10% on your 10 directs, and you're receiving 30% match on every time they withdraw, and then you receive on all other partners as well. So you will complete your 310 cycle. Now, once you have received that, you know you have a ton of people in your team. They're still earning, they're still withdrawing. That means you got a lot of Ethereum coming your way. But you can't actually withdraw that or receive that unless you make a new deposit. So the idea about this, this is a decentralized support system by free will. Nobody is going to be forced to participate, but the system is built and designed so that you know if you are if you're building, if you're a team leader and all that, you know that you got Ethereum coming your way, and you can study and see the growth of this community fund, both incoming and outgoing, so you can actually see if it is a healthy growth. Now, as long as you see there's a healthy growth, and as long as you see that you got Ethereum coming your way, there's absolutely nothing or no reason for you not to make a new deposit. Now, if you by any means choose not to make a deposit, guess what? That will benefit this community. Because if you do not make a new deposit, all that matching that you were supposed to or that you could have received, that stays in the fund and now is being distributed to others. So if somebody's building a large team and they decide, I'm not going to do this anymore for some kind of reason, that is just benefiting the community. Because instead of them receiving the matching, that stays in the community fund and can be distributed to the other community members that are active, that are receiving their 1% that they're matching. So I do understand the concern that everybody has, but as we have been talking about and discussing a lot of times, the system is built and designed for sustainability. Let's just say that this community just dies. All of a sudden, everything stops, and I'm not really sure how that is going to happen, but let's say everything stops. Not one single deposit comes in from right now. Guess what? We are sustainable. Our smart contract will continue to pay us the 1% and the matching that we are entitled to receive for an additional 40 to 50 days, maybe even 60 right now. You're getting paid another 50 days. If a community of any other smart contract dies today, their payments stops today. They're not receiving anything. But in EtherChain, you are guaranteed to receive at least 50 days. As long as this community continues to grow, there is absolutely no reason for anybody not to receive. That is how it works. But I do understand the concern, and that is why we have the 310 limit. That is why we have the fairness of once you completed that, you need to make a new deposit or you're not receiving anymore. That is why we have the daily top sponsor pool. Right now, 20 Ethereum is being shared among 4 people every single day, and it's just growing, growing, growing. Soon it will be 30 Ethereum, 40 Ethereum, 50 Ethereum being shared every day. We incentivize and we reward the builders. We reward the marketers that are building this community. And that is why they continue to do it. That is the secret. It doesn't really matter how great a contract is. If it doesn't have great leadership, it will not succeed. And how do you get great leadership? Of course, you need a great vision. You also need great compensation for them to be satisfied and for them to be happy. And that is what we're giving them with EtherChain. All right, let's see. We have one more text coming in here. I need the recording of this soon, please. Perfect information. Thank you. Absolutely. We are going to drop off right now. I don't see any other questions coming in. We've been on for 50 minutes. I want to thank each and every one of you. The recording of this will be coming up on YouTube on my channel. I will post a recording in the Telegram group and the Facebook group, of course. So it will be up in about an hour's time, I think. Guys, thank you so much for staying on. Thank you so much for the commitment, the engagement, and the support towards EtherChain. We are going places, guys. We have barely just begun. We are going for verification in 2 days, 48 hours, guys. And that is when we actually will have the official launch. We're still in pre-launch. All right, guys. Thank you so much. If you missed any questions, please get back to us in the Telegram group and we will take them there. If not, I will see you tomorrow. We will have one at 9 a.m. Eastern. There are new schedule for the Zoom. Do not miss that. We have the information in the Telegram and Facebook. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.